the diarrhea is especially related with the high feed consumption in the first week after weaning. But as consequence, this effect is not so negative. Okay, we can see that animals with diarrhea do not have a correspondent negative effect in the final of the nursery phase.
Welcome to the Swine Nutrition Blackbelt Podcast, the latest swine nutrition research digested for you. I'm your host, Clayton Chastain, and today we have with us Dr. Caio Abércio da Silva, an associate professor at Londrina State University in Brazil. So Caio, before we begin, could you tell the audience a little bit about your background?
Okay, thank you for this invitation. I'm a vet. I started my career working in private companies, PIC, and another cooperative in my state. After I started my career in Londrina State University, I had two opportunities to study out of Brazil, in Barcelona and in France too. My line of research is based on nutrition and management of pigs, but in the last years I work in a lot with feed additives for this species.
Giga Technologies manufactures Gestall swine precision feeding systems, designed by a family of pork producers for pork producers. The Gestall feeders are a simple, durable, and reliable solution, trusted by industry experts for all production stages. For 30 years now, Giga Technologies has been at the forefront of innovation, continuously enhancing sow nutrition and delivering remarkable outcomes for producers. Contact Giga Technologies specialists to learn more.
So I understand that you've done some work with zinc oxide alternatives, zinc oxide, and diarrhea prevalence in piglets. So to start us off, what all research has your team done on this topic?
The zinc oxide is a molecule that we use a lot in Brazil, but there is a expectative that in the next years, this molecule will be banned. Some enterprises are working with us, and we have a good result, especially when we consider other aspects, that is, aspects involved with the ration quality. For this reason, we have a concept that today it's possible to change this molecule without a worse results. In fact, zinc oxide has some benefits, but also we consider that some aspects are not so good, especially when we gave a change in the microbiota in the intestinal tract. The consequence of zinc oxide is to improve the diarrhea occurrences, but the diarrhea is not an aspect that is completely in relationship with daily again food conservation. This find is very important, and we consider that some aspects needs to be considered to discuss this point.
Gotcha. So from what you've seen, when looking at the problem of diarrhea, do you believe that from your studies that the diarrhea is more of a symptom of poor performance or the cause of poor performance?
In fact, the last perspectives that the diarrhea has a consequence, a negative consequence over the development, the performance of the piglet. But today, we are seeing that this point is not true. We have a great database where we evaluate each pig individually, considering that its performance and the diarrhea occurrence, and we see that this relationship is not strong. The diarrhea is especially related with the high feed consumption in the first week after weaning. But as consequence, this effect is not so negative. Okay, we can see that animals with diarrhea do not have a correspondent negative effect in the final of the nursery phase.
Gotcha. And then when also looking at some alternatives to zinc oxide, since you said in Brazil that they're looking at banning zinc oxide the next few years, have you seen any effective alternatives to zinc oxide to replace that?
Yeah, I believe that we are finding some products that can do to change this molecule. Of course, the work is need to consider a holistic vision, because there is not a magic molecule to change the zinc oxide. The experiences here, and also including other experiences, especially in Europe, we have to consider aspects of nutrition, specific ingredients, the level of these ingredients in the ration, but also there are some additives that can to support this request. So I believe that it's not so difficult to change this molecule for other additives. For me, it's very clear that the presence of acidifiers, prebiotics associate, tannin are good additives for this change.
And then with some of the work that you've done with those additives and kind of what you've seen in diarrhea prevalence with what you talked about earlier, what would then be your recommendation for the industry in terms of how to effectively utilize zinc oxide?
As I said, I think that it is important to work with some aspects. There is a checklist that I consider that is very important. And I will start with the level of the protein in the first rations, that our recommendation is the level below than 18%, for example. Also, it's important to reduce the products that are responsible for the elevation of the acid binding capacity. In this case, the limestone should be reduced. Also, the presence of zinc oxide that has a high acid binding capacity is important to be reduced. It's a negative effect of this molecule. And other aspects is the inclusion of plasma. It's an important ingredient for these first rations. Also, the inclusion of synthetic amino acids over than 30% of the requirements of these amino acids, considering the whole diet or the whole requirements of the piglets. And as I said, the acidifiers is important too. And the other things is the use cereals submitted to a treatment that is a processment where their digestibility should be improvement. I consider that we need to see this point according to holistic vision, as I said.
When it comes to raising healthy animals, you need more than the right solutions. You need the right partner who brings decades of industry expertise and a global team to put that knowledge to work for the advancement of your operation. At Phibro Animal Health Corporation, we are proud to work with you as your trusted partner.
Well, I believe that's all we have time for today. So thank you again, Caio, for coming on the show and sharing all your experiences with us.
Thank you, Clayson.
Yep. And everyone else, thank you for listening to the Swine Nutrition Blackbelt Podcast. please visit us at swinenutritionblackbelt.com. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast channel so you won't miss out on the next episode. See you next week. Hey everyone, we're always searching for the latest and greatest research to share each week. If you have a swine nutrition related research trial and would like to come on the show and share it with us, feel free to email the details about your research to hello@wisenetics.com.